Please welcome to the program the Americans for Prosperity Pennsylvania State Director, Emily Greene, and Doug Sprankle, owner of Sprankles Market. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks so much for having us, Larry. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Now, before I forget, to help business owners like my guest, go to protectprosperity.com, send your message to your representative and senators, share your story, sign up to get involved. Protectprosperity.com right now. Emily, tell me why it is so important to make sure the Trump tax cuts get extended.
Well, Larry, thanks again so much for having us. A lot of people don't even know that this year, President Trump's tax cuts are set to expire. So in Pennsylvania, that number is huge. If Congress doesn't act today, that can be an additional tax hike for a Pennsylvania family of up to $2,400 a year. That could be an additional $1,000 tax hike for businesses in Pennsylvania. And that could mean that we lose 33,000 jobs here in the Commonwealth. After 4 years of reckless spending from the Biden administration, Pennsylvanians that we're talking to every single day are telling us we just can't afford a tax hike. And this is broad-based, popular. We have polling that shows that 90% of Americans, Democrats, Republicans, independents, believe that now is not the time to raise taxes. So we have launched this $20 million campaign called Protect Prosperity to make sure that we are educating voters in the way that we know best, grassroots. We're talking with people on their doorsteps, over the phone, to let them know that they need to encourage their member of Congress to take action today.
As you pointed out, Emily, your poll shows that this is a 90% issue. Everybody's in favor of this. What is taking the House and the Senate so long to get this done?
Well, we were so encouraged this week. Speaker Johnson was able to pass with the Republican conference, a budget resolution, which includes good policy, such as extending President Trump's tax cut provisions. So this is the first step in a long process, but we're encouraged that Congress is willing to take action now. But we cannot rest on our laurels. We need everyone here listening tonight to head to protectprosperity.com. We make it so easy for you to contact your member of Congress. And I know I'm a Pennsylvania native, but there's a ton of people here listening from all across the country. We make it so easy for you to reach your member of Congress. We can even get you all the facts that you need, those specific numbers of tax hikes if the provisions were set or will expire this year. You can take that number right to your member of Congress and say, take action today. The most important tool that you have in your toolkit is your voice.
Let's bring in Doug Sprankle, owner of Sprankles Market. Doug, aren't you guys a dying breed, family-owned markets?
You know, it's rough out there. My dad started the business over 24 years ago, so I'm the third generation butcher, second generation grocer. And as a grocer, we've experienced a lot of issues within the industry, including a lot of competition. And 2017 tax allowed us to be competitive. It allowed us to invest more money into our crew. It allowed us to open a brand new store. You know, like you mentioned before, we went from 5 down to 2. And then with the new tax cuts, it allowed us to our biggest store ever, 23,000 square feet right here in Saxburg, Pennsylvania. Over 20% of our floor space is subleased to other small businesses so they can win as well. And through that, we've generated our biggest store yet and impacted our community in big ways, including over $500,000 donated to local organizations that participate in our events over the last 5 years.
Not to inject politics, Doug, as I inject politics, what would have happened had Kamala Harris won?
Well, we joke about it, but literally I planned a vacation, getting ready for the end. We were really nervous. Those tax hikes would have been really oppressive. We've been in a situation where we had to lay off people. We had discontinued relationships with long-term partners, and it had been a big struggle for not just our store, but for our area. The grocery store is the core of the community. We do more than just feed people. We feed the community's culture and beliefs, and it's a big thing that we do here. And as part of that, without a grocery store, well, we've seen what happens.
Well, Doug, you know I can't let you go without asking you, why are the price of eggs so high?
I had a lot of farming buddies explain it to me. It's the bird flu, obviously. It's everything else with the fuels and everything else, but it's a time of year. A lot of people like eggs this time of year.
You mentioned, Emily, the cost to the average Keystone State family if the tax cuts are not extended. Tell us about that.
This is going to be very detrimental to Pennsylvanians and Americans across the country if TCJA is not extended this year. As a grassroots organization, we're talking with folks every single day. I was just at a roundtable for small business owners in Pittsburgh, and I talked with a mother who is trying to put her kids through college. She's a single mom. She's trying to figure out how to make ends meet after the last 4 years of the Biden administration's trillions of dollars in record spending, which drove up the cost of everything. And she said, look, if Congress doesn't take action to extend TCJA, this is going to be bad. I'm gonna have to make critical trade-offs because I've got to put my kids through college. I talked with a small business owner who told me, hey, if this isn't extended, I'm gonna have to lay off a few of my employees. We're on the clock. We need to make sure that Congress gets to work. Again, we're excited about the House's movement this week, and we encourage Congress throughout the year to get this done.
Doug, I firmly believe that not everybody ought to go to college. Not everybody wants to go to college. You employ about 160 people. Many of them do not have college degrees. Tell us about that.
You know what? We employ your average person, your community member. I myself, I only have an associate's degree in filmmaking and not in grocerying. So, we are your quintessential community store, and we employ a lot of people that are involved in the community, firefighters, part-time police officers. We have a chance to really interact with everybody within our communities.
Emily, tell us again what people can do to make sure that this tax cut gets extended.
Your member of Congress desperately needs to hear from you that you support them through this TCJA extension fight. You can head to protectprosperity.com. And again, we have state-specific resources for wherever you're calling in from. We can get you that figure, what that would mean to you and your family if TCJA is not extended this year. Protectprosperity.com.
Doug, we have 20 seconds left. When do the price of eggs go down? Come on, Doug, give me some love.
Larry, we're trying here. We're trying. You know what? Our store is so good. President Trump came to it right before the election in Gettanning, Pennsylvania. And I told him the same thing. I said, President, I'd really like to bring it down, but we can't do it right now with all the bird flu and all the competition in the market.